Hey everybody, welcome to another Plan With Me. It's not really a plan with me though. In lieu of the beginning of the year and people wanting to get their lives organized and such, I thought I would give you a quick tour, or long tour, I have no idea, of my craft room. I am really lucky. This used to be the playroom, and my kids a few years ago said, "Hey Mom, you need a room to do your scrapbooking in. So we're going to give you our playroom," because they had grown out of the playroom. And so they gave it to me, and it was just kind of an awesome gift. Where I'm standing is kind of our guest room. Yes, I'm watching Star Trek. I just have odds and ends over here. Pictures of my kids, our house printer, really old sofa bed, and yes, that's a poop pillow. But over here is kind of my area. It was set up initially for scrapbooking, so I have a whole lot of scrapbooking supplies down here. Ribbons and flowers and frames and things like that. I thought I would get into knitting one time, so I bought that yarn. I haven't really done it. This is a really old table. It's supposed to be a sofa table. It was actually my husband and I's first kitchen table when we got married, because it was just two of us and we could fit two stools under it, and it just went up against the wall in our tiny apartment. And now it happens to be the same height as my desk, so I brought it over here to give myself like an L desk. Speaking of my desk, these kitchen cabinets were handed down to me. They are, again, really old. In fact, they're so old that when I painted them, there was some grease we couldn't get off, and you can see the paint didn't even really stick all the way. You can touch it, it's fine, but it just didn't paint really well. And so we put these two cabinets here, and then that other little shelf that I showed you, move the chair, that's the back side of this shelf. It's just one of those cheap shelves you can get at any box store. And then my husband made this top for it. When he made the top, he made this part removable, thinking that if it got stained and gross, he could just take this off, it's just hardboard, and put a new top in. However, it's been stained. See all the stains? And we still won't replace it. This is just a little cutting mat, one of those healable cutting mats that I use. So why don't I just start over here? I have this left over from scrapbooking time, which I really, really hope to get into again sometime, but it's kind of where I stored pages I wanted to do. Now that I'm doing planning a lot, these are my pens. I really need a better organization system for my pens. But I keep my Papermate Flares here, my Inkjoys here. These are some calligraphy pens. These are my Frixion, whatever pens. And these are my mild liners. And then back there are some Sharpies as well. So I just kind of keep those all here. And on my L part of the desk is where I cut, so I can bring a big piece of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper over here and cut. And I can just store stuff here, work here. These are kind of my main tools for planning. Whiteout glue stick, that little spatula, an X-Acto knife, and this silhouette cutter that I use to tear washi. This is my new filming arm, what do you call it, holder, whatever, that I can stick my phone into here and then film myself planning. My husband got me that for Christmas and I love it. I don't have those fancy umbrella lights everybody else uses. I just have a desk lamp. That's all it is. So, you know, someday I might invest in something better. This little bowl back here, I actually made that. We have a local place that does sculpting lessons, and so we get to make things out of aluminum. It's kind of awesome. If we move over, we have my silhouette, and then that is actually, this black thing here is actually a light and camera arm, because originally we had planned on, look, another stain, taking pictures of all my scrapbook pages and digitizing them in case, you know, there's a house fire or something like that. But it didn't work very well, and I haven't had the heart to get rid of it yet. The decoration back there are just some cheap, what do you call them, clipboards out of the Target dollar spot. And then those are just some dividers that I cut the tabs off. There were tabs on the side, you know, with the month name. I just sliced those off and put those up as my decoration. So those are Happy Planner dividers from probably my first planner. You can tell I have a project going on here. I need to cut out some black, I was going to say colorful boxes, but they're black boxes. Got my mouse pad, I've got my label maker, I've got my Canon selfie. This is my computer with just another desk lamp. I stick my phone into this guy when I need to upload the videos. This microphone looks way fancier than it is, but it's really fun to record into. And this printer, someday I need to replace it. But I love it because it pulls cardstock. And I have not found a lot of printers that pull cardstock. So this thing is older than dirt. I can't even find the printer ink like at Target or Walmart anymore. I have to order it online because it's so old. But I love it because it pulls cardstock. And like I said, for my scrapbooking, I do like that. My niece painted that for me. And though she be but little, she is fierce. I'm short, so I like that. This is just one of those storage things you can get from Michael's. I got it on clearance, so I hung it up, and my daughter calligraphied that on with some chalk. So then that brings us over here. I did invest in one of these shelves. I keep my Happy Planner sticker books here. These are all my Planner Society, what do you call them? Scallop edgers. These are just extra sticker pages that actually just fell out of the books, and so they're just kind of sitting over here, and so I need to get a better organization system for that. More scrapbooking stuff. That's just miscellaneous. That needs to be gone through. That's a mess. Need to go through that. Over here is my scrapbook paper area, and I'm glad to tell you about that sometime if you want to know it. Oh, and here's my punches for scrapbooking. And then in this cabinet, which is a really old junky cabinet I got from like the local university surplus store, is where I keep a gazillion candles because I like my room to smell good. Extra scrapbooks. My Xyron machines. I don't know if you call them machines, but my Xyron gadgets and my laminator. So those are in this really old but functional and sturdy cabinet. In here I have some more just miscellaneous planner pages and a few stickers I made and things and bought. These are some washies I got for Christmas that I want to use soon. This is a stamp, this kind of Stamp Central. My grandmother was a stamper for a while, and when she gave it up, she gave me her stamp stuff. This isn't even everything. My sister-in-law has a bunch of it. Some of it has been donated, but it's a lot. And I do use some of it for Happy Planners. So these are my Happy Planner stamps. I just kind of mixed them in with hers. Baby wipes to wipe off the stamps when you're done. But that one's labeled stamps for my planner, and then I have extra washies here, and then just a whole bunch of stamps. I'm telling you, my grandma had a ton. And then some embossing stuff. This, you are not a fraud. I heard that quote once and I loved it. My husband hates it, but I love it. This is my washi collection. It's organized not by company, but by color. I do have a lot of washi. My daughter gets disgusted with me, but I kind of love washi. So this is my washi collection there. Yeah. And then, like I said, the rest of the room is just kind of for fun. I have my fake fireplace that warms it up in here because this is the room above the garage. Yeah, so that brings us back to the TV where Star Trek is still playing. So, if you're looking for a way to get organized, you may not have a room like this. Like I said, I'm pretty blessed to have this. But hopefully you have some sort of space, and maybe I inspired you on one or two ways of organizing your planner supplies. Or scrapbooking supplies, your craft supplies, how's that? All right, well, Happy New Year, and happy organizing, and happy planning.